on there, but I'd like my listeners to hear your wisdom. It sounds like you've got some stuff to say, and be nice for you to share it with our listeners.
You'll see my phone number on my website. Please call me and leave me a message as to what you think. I think you'll be surprised.
Okay, good. I'm looking forward to it. Superfood only diet, Jorgan. If I just put that in the search engine, I'll get it, right?
You will.
Okay, good. It's very nice to talk to you, Ed. I'm glad you called. Where in California are you, by the way?
Orange County. Orange County,
California. Well, good. Hopefully you'll come to the Anaheim convention in April, by the way. Longevity has a convention in Anaheim, I think the third week of April.
Yes.
Okay, hope we'll get to see you there. Thanks for your call, Ed. God bless. Have a beautiful day, man. All right. Okay, so let's see here. Got about a minute to go, 844-236-6010. I want to tell you about a couple of these articles that I pulled up over the weekend. This is from the journal Cancer Research. I thought this was interesting. Sugar in Western diets increases risk for breast cancer, tumors, and metastases. And we rip on sugar on this program all the time, and most healthcare professionals will rip on sugar. And it's not so much because we want to be, or I want to be a food Nazi, and I eat sugar, and I'm addicted to sugar like anybody else is, and we're hardwired to go for sugar. But the problem with sugar is, in terms of our health anyway, or one of the problems with sugar is cancer loves sugar. Cancers are sugar feeders. And we've been talking about this for years on this program. Sugar in Western diets increases risk for breast cancer, tumors. Well, no kidding. Sugar, cancer feeds on sugar. This is the hallmark sign of a cancer cell, is it's utilizing sugar as opposed to utilizing oxygen. It's a much less efficient way for cells to do their business. And that's why cancer cells, or one of the reasons cancer cells don't do their business. I did a very long piece on cancer, by the way. Should be posted up at pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com here in the next couple of days. If anybody ever tells you we don't know what causes cancer, they don't know what they're talking about. Because we do know good and well what the primary cause of cancer is. It involves oxygen and it involves sugar. All right. Got more to say here about vitamin E and the liver, and vitamin E and the skin, and vitamin E and metabolic syndrome, and vitamin E supplementation. And tomorrow we'll talk about the 8 different types of vitamin E, why you may not be getting your vitamin E, maximizing your vitamin E benefits with just alpha-tocopherol. All right, thanks for listening, friends. Check out my website, brightsideben.com, and if you're interested in purchasing any of our True Skin Health products, head over to truthtreatments.com, truthtreatments.com. Have yourselves a spectacular, awesome, wonderful day. We'll talk to y'all later, folks. Bye for now.
This is a healthcare alert from the Pain Relief Hotline. If you, a family member, or a loved one suffers from knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain and have Medicare as your primary insurance, we've got great news. You don't have to suffer any longer. You can immediately qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you by calling our 24/7 Pain Relief Hotline at 866-389-0620. Delivery is free and all paperwork is handled for you. If you are on Medicare and have knee, back, shoulder, or ankle pain, don't wait. You can qualify to immediately receive a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost by calling our 24/7 Pain Hotline now at 866-389-0620. Our representatives are standing by 24/7 to take your call and rush you your pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you. Shipping is free and all paperwork is handled for you. Just call 866-389-0620. That's 866-389-0620. Again, 866-389-0620.
Chronic inflammation is now known to block your ability to repair and compromises your immune system, making you more vulnerable to all diseases. Since poor diet, injuries, or stress are all contributing factors, many people suffer from inflammation. Your body's number one means of neutralizing inflammation and the pain that it may be causing is glutathione. Glutathione is the body's number one peptide to neutralize free radicals and thus stop inflammation.
Hi, my name is Jason. I'm 44 years old. For 10 years, I had been suffering from chronic pain in my abdomen and groin that radiated down into my feet. After 3 weeks on One World Way, the pain in my feet reduced by 50%, and the overall pain in my body reduced significantly as well. I ran out of One World Way, and the pain returned. I got another container, and again, after 3 weeks, the pain reduced significantly throughout my body. I'd highly recommend One World Way to anyone dealing with chronic pain due to inflammation.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldway.com. That's oneworld, WHEY.com.
Thank you for listening to GCN. Be sure to visit GCNlive.com today.
Big Brother, mainstream media, government cover-ups. You want answers? Well, so does he. He's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network. And now, live from Austin, Texas, Alex Jones.
Welcome to the Alex Jones Show on this Monday, January the 4th, 2016. It's the new year, and we have a lot of new news, a lot of problems that have developed over the weekend. And, of course, we have been following, if you listened to the program yesterday, you heard us talking about the recent changes in Oregon with the Bundy brothers and the militia that are out there. They went out there to support a family which basically did not want their support. And so we're going to be talking about how that has escalated and changed. We have sent our crew out there. Joe Biggs will be reporting. They're on their way to the site, the federal facility that has been taken over by the people who were there to protest initially. And we're going to take a look at how this is being used by the mainstream media, but we need to be on the ground here at this point. I looked at this story, as I mentioned yesterday, as it started to develop back in October. They had the ruling. Then in November, the Bundys got on this and were very concerned about what's going on. We're going to give you some of the details. You should be concerned about what happened to this family. And if this type of thing had happened to me, I would want some protection, and I would fight this. But that's not their decision, and we have to respect their decision. And so I didn't really see anything to cover there, because you had people that wanted to go there. They went there to try to educate the people in the community, to get them to stand around these people. But at the core, they just wanted to quietly go back and serve additional jail time. That's the fundamental issue. However, after the protests went, and after it looked like the local community, as well as the Hammonds, who were going back to jail, looked like they did not want to protest any of this. They're afraid of the government. They work with the government. Over half of the community works for the government, the federal government. And of course, the government owns over half of the land in Oregon. it looks a lot like an Indian reservation, doesn't it? Where the government owns everything, everybody is obliged to the government. Of course, those are just the people with jobs, half of them that work for the government. The other people who don't have jobs are living off of the government. That is what they have done to the Indians in the past. When we talked about what happened at Wounded Knee, we talked about the similarities and the tactics of how the government has treated us. And of course, now it looks like we're going to have a Wounded Knee Part 3. We don't know how that's going to turn out. I understand the frustration. I don't think that this is a good time to do this, of course, because today we have Obama starting to talk about his executive orders for gun control. He's going to be given an hour on CNN to push for this. And don't you know that he's going to be focusing on this, saying this is a prime example of why citizens can't be trusted with guns. We're also going to be talking about a lot of different news. We've got information about what happened in Turkey as well as in Saudi Arabia over the weekend. We had in Saudi Arabia 47 people executed right after the beginning of the new year. I know they were waiting so they didn't set a new Guinness Book of Records for the number of people beheaded in a given year. And, of course, these are people that were labeled terrorists, just like these ranchers were labeled terrorists by the BLM. That's a favorite label. Let's go to Alex Jones right now. He's calling in. He's on the road. Alex, go ahead.
That's right, David. I just filed a very powerful 10-minute report that is being uploaded to you. I just finished it minutes ago, a little bit late, that will break down basically everything we're starting to get into. This is a very important time. This is the main push to get our guns. And, folks, with this new situation out in Oregon, we do not want to do any favors for Obama that gives him the background to come after the guns and legitimize what he's doing. And he's doing this with executive power. This is really about the executive power grab so that in a few months, the word is, they're going to have even more draconian executive actions on guns. So this is the opening salvo, and I break down the fact that absolutely the feds are stealing land, absolutely they're out of control, absolutely they're lawless, absolutely under the Declaration of Independence, you should be able to, stand up to this. I get what these people are doing, but you have a wide open building with saying come from all over the country no matter who you are. Guaranteed provocateurs are showing up, and other things are happening. The whole Soros group is saying, here are our white terrorists, here are our cowboy hat-wearing terrorists. It gives them the backdrop they need. They want to start a civil war.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's alkavision.com, or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
In the 15-year history of PrisonPlanet.tv, we have never offered 6 months free at Christmas. We've always offered 5 months free. But since I announced 6 free months a few days ago, we have seen record numbers of signups. PrisonPlanet.tv began 15 years ago. It's grown into InfoWars, Nightly News, and so much more. All of my documentary films, scores of ebooks, and other exclusive documentaries are available for streaming or download in HD at PrisonPlanet.tv. You don't just get 6 months free when you sign up from Christmas through New Year's. You also get to share that membership with up to 20 people simultaneously using your username. You can also sign up for a trial month and only pay $5.95. And then 20 of you and your friends and family can watch PrisonPlanet.tv, get 20 memberships at half price, be the Paul Revere in your community. That's 6 months free when you sign up for a year at PrisonPlanet.tv.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, LibertyOnCall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to LibertyOnCall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's LibertyOnCall.org.
Are you looking to sell body armor? Want to make extra money selling body armor at your local gun shows? With low minimum buys and great returns, Katie Armor is the answer. Make money in your spare time. It's American-made body armor with the quickest turnaround in the industry, which means you get your product when you need it at very competitive rates, and they'll ship it to you for free. If you own a business, give them a call today at 855-488-KATIE. That's 855-488-2284, or go to katiearmor.com. Come and take it.
Crashing through the lies and disinformation, it's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Thank you for joining us, ladies and gentlemen, as we broadcast worldwide on this Monday, the first weekday show of 2016. Again, thank you so much for joining us. I am in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm going to start conducting an interview in about an hour with a very, very important individual, especially when it comes to stopping any type of civil insurrection or George Soros planned Black Lives Matter issues in this country. I'm working around the clock to try to stop the globalists from foiling the political process in this country and our attempts to basically save this republic. And so are a lot of other people. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, I filed an 11-minute report that will be premiering here. I just finished it about 15 minutes ago. David Knight's going to be hosting the first 3 hours, and Paul Joseph Watson will be joining us from London, England in the 4th hour. Obviously, the stock market is plunging right now as we go into the new year. Obviously, huge, big developments in the Middle East that David Knight is going to be covering. But remember, I've been totally warning, and so is the rest of my research crew, that obviously the big foundations, the big organizations are funding the racist movement, Black Lives Matter, that is meant to divide and conquer the country. Obviously, there's major police problems as well. But as discredited as this group is, it just legitimizes all that and allows the globalist federalization of the police as a response to it via these, quote, strong cities UN initiative. They have been trying to provocateur and infiltrate patriotic militia groups and others forever. And whenever I would learn that a militia group was infiltrated, I'd talk about it 15, 16, 17 years ago, and I would get demonized by the usual suspects that it turned out were federal informants or were actually federal agents or were CIA national security agents like Al Turner, who was their own guy, but they still burned him. So I've been doing this for a long time, and they always stand up and say, there's no provocateurs, there's no feds anywhere that try to stir stuff up. That doesn't exist. Alex is a fed. Alex is a fed. This is what they do. Now, I believe the Bundys are good, well-meaning, strong people overall, and the feds are stealing property everywhere. It is part of the UN Agenda 21. It is wrong. It is evil. Okay, so I understand what's happening. They're peaceful. It's an empty building. It's to create a stand, like the Alamo, peaceably, hopefully, where people point out what's happening is wrong, and then they think if they get killed there, it'll be like the Alamo, and that'll set off the whole thing. It'll save the country. Folks, the globalists want a physical fight because they think they can win that easier than an information war. We'll win a physical fight long term. I've looked at the history of it, looked at all the angles. But we don't want to go that direction. We are going to win the info war, and then if they want to start a war or false flag and try to blame it on us and then come arrest patriots, then it kicks off. But we are not offensive. We are defensive. And I understand they're taking land and doing all this. The problem is the Hammonds have said they don't want the Bundy people there. Now, let's get past all that. This is not the grazing rights like we had a few years ago where the family been there since 1878, 1877, 100% grazing rights. The feds come in, kick 34 other families off. They're the last family standing. They were totally in the right. David Knight was there with Josh Owens, literally, while the feds were saying, we're going to shoot you, we're going to shoot you, give you across the line. And they bravely, like combat reporters, got that footage. We should re-air that historic footage today, that historic report, and have David narrate the parts that aren't good for radio today. That's so important. Would that be re-seen? They were there. They were on horseback. They weren't aiming their guns at the feds. The feds were aiming their guns at them. They were absolutely in the right. It was the real John Wayne. It's what John Wayne wishes he was. This was true Americana. So I admire these folks. But at the same time, you don't just mindlessly then support the next operation without saying my First Amendment right. Hey, this is the day Obama launches the gun grab. Hey, this is what they keep telling the local police and sheriff's departments is going to happen and why they're giving them armored vehicles. Hey, we should think for ourselves here. Hey, is this the best timing? Because you're not wanted by the local. This whole, and you've seen in Oregon, sheriffs saying, get ready for the war with the Patriots the last few years and all this provocateuring. I'm telling you, folks, I'm telling you. There's agitation going on, 110%, just like with the Black Lives Matter. And notice Black Lives Matter went into action yesterday, saying this is white terror, time to take the guns, the militias are coming, we want the National Guard, we want war, we want this to happen. This is to change the subject from Obama offensively coming to get our guns and trying to blame San Bernardino on patriots, to then flip it and say, see, there's an armed takeover of a federal building right now, we got to do something. And so I'm telling you, the timing is out of control, and I understand there's been demonstrations going on there for years, and then magically this happens. At this point, I mean, folks, Mama didn't raise a fool, and I don't think the Bundys are bad. I don't think most militia people are bad. I don't think any of these folks are bad, except for some of the things that are being said and pushed that overall basically gets this situation out of control. And those of us that are seeking to try to fix this peacefully know that in 1995, a whole bunch of state houses were moving in 94 and 95 to get us out of the UN, to take private property back, to abolish the BLM, to kick them off land. We had 20-plus states. Patriots remember this. We had 20-plus states that had voted to basically control the federal government and stop the UN takeover. And Oklahoma City happened. We've got multiple governors like Greg Abbott coming out over the weekend saying, come and take it. The state will stand against you trying to take guns. We've got sheriffs and police chiefs standing and saying the right thing. We've got police departments saying the right thing. We've got good stuff in Congress. We've got promises in Congress to repeal any of these executive orders immediately and slap them down. We've got Obamacare with the legislation introduced to repeal it, about to pass the House. We have got so many exciting things to happen right now. Donald Trump, the whole 9 yards. We are trying to bring the republic back as best we can. And the Soros types that have done this in countless countries like Ukraine and other areas want civil insurrection. They want civil unrest. They want us fighting with each other at each other's throats. And the feds keep pushing and pushing and pushing to try to trigger this. And that's why I'm calling for everybody to be cool. That's why I'm calling, for everybody to focus on what they're doing, because as more people arrive out there, and Joe Biggs is about to be on scene there today reporting, as all of this unfolds, we need to understand that the establishment wins if things get violent. And so it's very important to have a lot of cameras there to document everything that's unfolding, so that hopefully if there's any provocateurs or troublemakers, the sun comes up this morning, fish swim in the sea. I mean, it's going to be a magnet for this, and we need to take action to document it and to make sure the system can't spin this. Because, folks, I've had them try to set me up with the kill Michelle Malkin stuff, and thank God we had footage that it was her operatives doing it against Michelle Malkin. She did it. It's on video. I've had them try to set me up literally hundreds of times with similar things, with things I didn't do or things I didn't say, or fake videos supposedly of what. I mean, I know the tricks, folks. But what counters that is having our own footage and having our people on the ground. So pray for Joe Biggs and the rest of the crew. David Knight's son, Travis, is out there on the ground. So just pray for them. I'm going to go ahead and hand this back to David Knight for the rest of the segment. The next, then my special report breaking this down at the 33 after. Please tell your friends and family to tune in to the broadcast and just understand they're coming for the Second Amendment. They're coming for the First Amendment. They're coming for it all. But we don't want them to push us into moving first. This is a key time. This could become 1776 Part 2. You're living it. We know the enemy's game plan. Let's not just stumble into their traps. Let's use the fact that we have their blueprint to absolutely defeat them at every level and pray for Providence. David Knight at the InfoWars News Center.
Thank you, Alex. And, of course, we're going to have that special report from Alex at the bottom of the hour. We're also going to be joined by Lionel in the next hour, and we're going to take a look at some of the crazy things that have been happening this year. There's actually some things that are kind of funny in all of this serious news. So we'll be going over that with Lionel. A little bit of, I guess you could call it graveyard humor as we look at some of these things coming at us. But when we look at what's going on out here, we look at, there's an article on Infowars.com that's picked up by Drudge, by Paul Joseph Watson. The Oregon standoff could boost Obama's gun control push, and of course it could. That's exactly, the timing is absolutely perfect. But I think that there are other issues going on with this as well, and that's why it's very important that you look at something like this, not only tactically, but strategically. You know, I think this is a very bad idea, as I pointed out yesterday when I was on the radio. You're going to lose the moral high ground. I think this is a bad tactic, a bad strategy. It's bad PR, okay? They're going to lose this moral high ground. Understand, when Pearl Harbor happened, and we pointed this out on the anniversary of Pearl Harbor, it was very well documented that the U.S. had broken the codes of the Japanese at that time. They knew precisely what was going on. They stood down at the top levels to allow that to happen. That's how important it was for them. They would sacrifice most of the Navy, all the battleships, so that they could have the moral high ground, so they could be in a defensive war rather than be seen as the aggressor. That is what's very important about this. That is where people have lost sight of this. And I want to play a clip from Oath Keepers, Stuart Rhodes, the leader there, talking about what happened with this leading up to it, even before the takeover. And of course, with the takeover of the federal building, things have changed. That's why we sent our reporters out there. First of all, what Cliven Bundy said. He said, if the Hammonds won't stand up for their rights, if the sheriff and the county commissioners won't stand up for their rights, the people who are there as protesters, as patriots, they don't have anybody to fight. And yes, it was a legitimate thing to go there and to protest the injustice that was being done to this family. You have another great article from Kurt Nimmo pointing out why these people were targeted. It's because the federal government wants to steal their land. We've seen this story over and over again. We had an excellent article from Kurt Nimmo yesterday we talked about on the news, talking about the constitutional background of the land grabs. And so with this, he talks about this particular case. We see this happening over and over again. But when we come back, we're going to play a clip from Stuart Rhodes essentially saying the same thing that Cliven Bundy said. And the reason why we didn't cover this other than the issues until we've got this takeover. Now this is playing into the hands not only for gun control, but also for what may happen when we face a pending economic collapse as we see the stock market going down. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Winter has just begun. And are you already tired of being cold? How would you like to never be cold again? This is Dale with Fortress Clothing. And I'm here to tell you, you will never be cold again with Fortress. If you're tired of freezing your butt off, elk hunting, sitting in a tree stand, deer hunting, winter camping, fishing, ice fishing, no longer fear the cold. If you snowmobile, ski, snowboard, get Fortress. Sledding with the kids, shoveling the walks, shopping, or if you or your spouse get cold feet at home, get Fortress. If you're stuck outside working in the cold or find yourself in an emergency situation, get our winter bug out bag and you will never be cold again. Fortress is the answer, so quit complaining and go to fortressclothing.com. It's a mid-layer garment that goes with anything you want to wear. Enter coupon code radio and get 20% off any item. Go now while we still have inventory. fortressclothing.com.
Advertising your business with GCN is simple, effective, and more affordable than you might think. Visit advertise.gcnlive.com for more info. Take your business to the next level. That's advertise.gcnlive.com.
Ho, ho, ho. Katie is ready for the holiday season. Get your gift certificates now. Go to katiearmor.com. That's CATIarmor.com for our best Christmas deals. Come and take it.
If survivalist housing has been in your plans, get ready. We're bringing our Timberline range camps to you February 6th through 14th. The Great American Outdoor Show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Get an up-close look at some of our most popular Timberline models or visit survivalistcamps.com to pre-order a camp. We'll bring it to the show and save you the cost of shipping. It's the perfect time to get that camp you've wanted. Go to survivalistcamps.com, then plan on joining us at the Great American Outdoor Show in February in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Something just happened that has explained why survival food is literally flying off the shelves and is sold out in many areas of the country. It caught me totally by surprise, and it involves FEMA. I couldn't believe FEMA tried this until I saw proof. Revealing their secret could land me in hot water, but I think you deserve to know exactly what they're doing. Watch the viral video at FEMA3.com before it disappears again. But be warned, it's really disturbing because the fact is, they must know something we don't. Go to FEMA3.com to see the #1 item you should be hoarding and why supplies of this critical item are so low or even completely sold out at many stores across America. Don't miss out. Watch the controversial video that thousands of other smart patriots have already seen in recent days. Go to FEMA3.com and discover the #1 most critical item in a crisis. Watch the shocking video right now at FEMA3.com. Again, that's FEMA3.com.
As if chlorine in our water weren't bad enough, now they're adding ammonia?
It's true. Some municipalities are now adding ammonia plus chlorine to your water supply. It's a disinfectant called chloramine. But with a trusted Big Berkey water filter, you can keep chloramine out of your water. New NSF EPA certified lab tests show EPA Berkey water filters remove chloramines, pharmaceuticals, BPA, pesticides, bacteria and viruses, all forms of fluoride, and much more. Big Berkey water filters are the original and most trusted on the market. The gold standard in water purification. And our filters last for years at less than 2 cents per gallon. Big Berkey, the one that's powerful enough to purify stagnant pond water. Get your Big Berkey today. Call 1-877-99-BERKEY or click BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY. Big Berkey Water Filters, for the love of clean water.
Welcome back to the Alex Jones Show. I'm David Knight, your host on this Monday, January the 4th, 2016. I want to get back to this standoff, and I want to give you a broader context of what's happening right now in the economic situation. Before I do, I just want to let you know real quickly, we have an InfoWars Life Resolution Pack. I don't know how much longer this special is going to last. You can make 2016, this is a time that everybody is making their health transformation resolutions. You can help to make that happen with the supplements that we have in this Life Resolution Pack. You can get 15% off of Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine, the all-in-one cleansing formula Deep Cleanse, and Secret 12, vitamin B12, the lowest price ever. Again, will help you make good on your New Year's resolution to get healthier. You can get a 15% discount when you use the promo code 2016 at checkout and get that InfoWars Life Resolution Pack. You'll find that at InfoWarsLife.com. Now, as we look at what's going on, of course, the context that we need to be aware of, and I wish that these people who were there, I believe the Bundys are acting in good faith. I don't believe that everybody there necessarily is. We always have agent provocateurs whenever you've got something like this, whether it's a Black Lives protest matter. I mean, that whole organization was heavily funded by George Soros operatives. There are a lot of people who are well-meaning in that. A lot of people who are concerned about police brutality and violence and making sure that we get back to a more civil policing stance towards the public. But you always have the possibility that agent provocateurs are going to take something over. Whenever you have a protest in Ferguson, you always have the possibility that somebody is going to get peaceful protesters out there. We covered that many times. We were there quite a bit.